a horse, my kingdom for a horse. I am no man. Who hurt you? It's better to burn out than to fade away. There can be only one Highlander. Regardless of genre, great dialogue is remembered far longer than the scenes that surround it. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time, to Writing Raven Shorts. Quick, powerful writing advice you can actually put to use before your coffee gets cold. I'm Robin Shadle, independent author and college professor. Today, we're tackling how to make dialogue sizzle. Whether it be banter to boasting or that classic we all love, vicious mockery. Dialogue that sizzles, crackles, snaps, pulls readers right into the emotional current of a scene. So, let's get on with 3 quick tips. First, you have to cut the fat. Most dialogue drags because there's too much filler. In the real world, we often say a lot of well, filler language. But fiction isn't real life. It should mimic real life, but it doesn't have to report it with 100% accuracy. Trim the greetings, trim the recaps, the how are yous. Get straight to the point of tension. If your characters are fighting, confessing, or if they're flirting, start with the moment where something is at stake. A simple test, if you cut the piece of dialogue and the scene still works, you didn't need it to begin with. Think of dialogue like fire. It only burns hot and bright when there's oxygen for it to consume. And once you've cut the fat, you need to layer in the subtext. Sizzling dialogue isn't about what your characters say, it's about what they mean. Let them talk around what they really want. Silence, interruptions, abrupt changes of subject, misdirection. When one person says, "I'm fine," or responds to a query about what's wrong with "nothing," and the other person believes them, that doesn't give you anywhere. But if the other person doesn't believe, if the other person picks up on the nonverbal tone, then you have sparks that fly. In other words, write the emotional subcurrent first, and then the actual words second. When I was a funeral director, which I was before I went to grad school, I witnessed so many arguments whose words were about seemingly innocuous things like the font in a program. But really, when you got the parties alone and you talked to them, the fight was about how grief brought out feelings of betrayal, abuse, neglect, being cut out of someone's will, or who was the favorite child. Years, sometimes decades of hurt came out expressed in something that had no direct connection to the incident or incidents that caused the hurt. But it came out through undertone, subtext, and the emotional quality of nonverbal communication. And third, tune into the rhythm. Every character has a rhythm, their own cadence, their own word choices. An anxious or nervous person might speak in short bursts. An educated person would more likely to use rhetorical devices, planned structures, supporting evidence, claim, grounds, warrant, if you follow the Toolman argument structure. To make dialogue pop, read it out loud. Feel where it stumbles or drags. If you trip, the reader will too. And don't forget to use formatting for the flow. Line breaks, sentence fragments, Not everyone speaks in complete sentences. And dashes. Yes, M dashes are actual punctuation marks and not the mark of AI writing in and of itself. Use all of these things to mimic how real, living speech works. Dialogue should be musical, not mathematical. So, in recap, you need to cut the fat, starting with attention, layer on the subtext so the emotional meaning is carried through, and tune into the rhythm that fits the character like a proper outfit. These are 3 ways you can make your dialogue sizzle and not fizzle. So, if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe, like, leave a quick comment. It helps other writers find Writing Raven Shorts. Until next time, keep your words short, your coffee strong, and happy writing.